Hi guys, this one's going to be really quick today. I'm actually going away for a week next week, so this is going to be my last stream before coming back from my vacation. So, in essence, all I'm going to do is cover a couple of things really that I've already covered previously, but I think just highlighting where we are. I know there's a lot of fear in the market right now, but I guess, as I've said in the last couple of streams, if you come into my profile, you'll see, especially the last couple that I've done here, the last post or two from education and covering the full year. The price is doing really no different to what I'd said back in August. I was actually expecting the price to go up just above the previous high. You can actually see this was even written back as far as March in this particular one. You'll see this post, the rocket. Um, we had a 5 up high. In essence, all we've done is created a double top in the bigger picture. Okay, so the roadmap again already written out. The 5 didn't go as high as I thought we might have done, but there's actually some logic for that as well. So I've covered that well in this particular post as to why we were going where we were going. I've covered the extension levels and so on. So there's nothing really surprising in terms of the current situation as to where we are right now. So, what do I think we're going to do next? I think for me, there's a couple of things. So, we've actually got an Elliott wave count. If we assume this being the weekly 3, then we had the weekly 4 and a weekly 5. Okay, so the big question mark is whether or not this was the 5 or this being the 5, right? So there's two options for the 5 there. Now we can take logic from the 1, from the 2. We've got a nice extension 3. We've got a different type of 4, and then 4 to 5 in there. Now we could argue again we've got a small 1, 2, big 3, therefore 4 and 5, right? Which is why I said that there's two potential options for this as a level there. Okay, so if we assume that one way or the other, we've got a 5, there's no two ways about that. All we're seeing is basically a double top, right, in the larger picture, right, in terms of the monthly time frame. So when I was seeing this move up, coming into August, when I was calling this drop down before going back up, I'd actually stated that we were not going to go too far before taking that down. Obviously, I'd measured this again in this post. I'd measured this and forecasted this at the end of September in terms of where these extensions would go to. So the first one there, you can see this one, the 30th of September. I was actually measuring, you see this line here. And all we done was come up. We kind of tagged it first of all. I know we faked out then threw it just above. And then ultimately rejected off it, right? So this was into territory that Bitcoin had never been before. This was kind of creating that all-time high. And actually a month after, it actually forecasted this level. So you can clearly see respect is coming in into the instrument itself, which is a great thing to see as a professional trader. So from this particular point, what we now have, right, this is where the two options come in, is if we assume that this was the 5, you could potentially see a 1, 2, 3 move, which is basically an ABC. You could see another ABC in there. And what that does is it gives us the potential for a flat move, right? This is an expanding flat. So what we'll see then is a 5 move down. Now, I'm not going to zoom into this, but basically you'll see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down. And therefore, what we'll have is this creating a larger scale A. Then we'll likely see a move back up B, right? And then the next move down will also be down something like this. Okay, so this could end up being a zigzag, which is basically, well, another move in terms of Elliott wave. But the zigzag is probably the most common in configurations like this. So on a larger time frame, we can easily see quite a slow grind up, and then from that grind back up, basically another drop down. Now, I've said on a couple of my streams, it doesn't necessarily have to be deep. It just needs to be drawn out. And the whole logic behind this is for the big boys to unload their positions at the moment. So you'll probably see this is profit taking for the big boys. Everybody's buying the dip in terms of the retail traders. And as that fear sets in, what you're likely to see is a nice motive wave come away from here, which is what you tend to see 0 to A on this move inside the A to B move, bigger time frame. So in essence, I would expect a move back up, right? And then from that move back up, you're going to get a lot of retail saying, well, the bottom's in. This was definitely the bottom. We're going to be on to a winner. They'll start taking trades. They'll come in here. They'll buy the next move. And for a while, they'll be winning. Then the greed takes over. Diamond hands kind of step in, and we get a decent drop, taking out majority of the stop losses all over again. Okay, so given the fact that this is a monthly move, we know that we had the 3 to 4 on the weekly time frame, and we're going all the way from the 14th of April being the high. You could see this coming all the way back from March. So from April all the way through to the low there in June, a good couple of months. Now, even if you just do simple math and you say, well, okay, we could easily be 4 times as long on this. It doesn't have to be, but it could. So we can't rule that out. So the fact that I don't think the A is in yet in any which way, shape, or form, whether we've got this as the 5 and then we've come down A, B, C, we haven't quite finished this A any which way. Now, if we come down from this level, we're actually going to get, I suppose, a similar move. What we'll be seeing is in a zigzag turn, we'll be seeing a 5-wave move first. So this definitely is the 5 now. We've got a 5-wave move in here. Then we'll be coming back up for a 3, and then we'll end up with another 5 down. Okay, so one way or the other, it's just a question of this being a flat or the bigger picture being a zigzag. Either which way, it's going to be completion of A, up for B, and down for C. And then there's just the regular extension levels in terms of the 618, the 100, the 123, etc., 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 on that extension to finish with. So if that takes another 6 months, it's not the end of the world. So that's where we are in terms of Bitcoin right now. If you haven't seen this particular post, this is the year in the life of Bitcoin. This covers step by step all of the analysis going back as far as December last year when we started to make some of these posts public. There's a couple of other ones here. This one is basically my Christmas gift to you guys. This is a whole bunch of lessons throughout the year, all posted on TradingView, covering psychology, why people get into crypto. We've got everything from trend lines to MACD to indicators, moving averages, all the way through to how to buy the dip. And then we get into a little bit more detail in terms of things like the Dow theory, Elliott wave, Wyckoff, Fibonacci, etc., etc. So there's a load of stuff in this particular post. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a little look. And then I suppose that was it. So yeah, so I guess for where we are right now, I think for me, it's definitely in this situation, just a question of time frame wise rather than price prediction. I think if we do go back up, we've got 52, 55, 57 as kind of key areas to the upside. And then I think on the way back down, we are likely to see potential liquidity grabbing at the previous 4, which is no different to what I was actually writing in March. So that's where we are. Like I said, I didn't think there's much else to say at the moment. It's not doing anything that's surprising. This is actually pretty cool to see in real time an instrument being professionalized, in front of your very eyes. So this is pretty awesome to see. So yeah, I guess I'm going to leave that as we are right now. I'm happy with this. Like I said, I'm away for a couple of days next week. So when I'm back, I'll be doing some more streams. So obviously, see you when I get back.